Once upon a time, in the ancient land of Eldoria, nestled between towering mountains and lush, verdant forests, there lived a majestic dragon named Zephyros. Zephyros was no ordinary dragon. He was the last of the celestial dragons, a lineage of dragons blessed with the power of the stars and the wisdom of the ages. Eldoria was a land of magic and wonder, where mythical creatures roamed freely, and enchantments were woven into the very fabric of existence. The people of Eldoria lived in harmony with these creatures, but none were more revered and feared than the dragons. Among them, Zephyros stood out, not just for his immense size and shimmering scales that glowed like the night sky, but for his gentle heart and profound knowledge. Zephyros resided in a hidden valley, known only to a select few. The valley was a sanctuary of beauty, filled with crystal-clear streams, blooming flowers, and ancient trees that whispered secrets to those who could hear. This valley was protected by powerful magic, ensuring that only those with pure intentions could find their way to Zephyros. The dragon had lived for millennia, witnessing the rise and fall of kingdoms, the ebb and flow of civilizations. His wisdom was sought by many, but only the bravest or the most desperate dared to seek him out. For while Zephyros was kind, he was also a guardian of balance, never interfering directly in the affairs of mortals unless the very fabric of Eldoria was at stake. One day, a young woman named Eldoria arrived at the edge of Zephyros Valley. She was a skilled sorceress from the distant city of Eldoria, known for its grand libraries and powerful wizards. Eldoria had journeyed far, guided by the whispers of ancient tomes and the dreams that spoke of a dragon with the knowledge to save her people. Eldoria was under siege by a dark force, a sorcerer named Malakar who had discovered forbidden magic that allowed him to control the shadows themselves. His dark army spread terror and destruction, leaving the once vibrant city on the brink of collapse. Desperate to save her home, Eldoria had embarked on a perilous quest to find Zephyros, hoping that the dragon's wisdom could provide a solution. As Eldoria entered the valley, she felt a sense of awe and reverence. The air was filled with a soothing melody, the song of nature itself. Following the path of the stream, she soon found herself standing before Zephyros, who was resting on a bed of moss beneath a towering ancient tree. "Greetings, Zephyros," Eldoria said, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and hope. "I am Eldoria of Eldoria, and I seek your wisdom to save my people from a great darkness." Zephyros opened his eyes, which shone with the light of 1,000 stars, and gazed upon the young sorceress. "Welcome, Eldoria of Eldoria," he rumbled, his voice like distant thunder. "I have seen the darkness that plagues your land. Tell me, what do you seek to learn?" Eldoria took a deep breath and explained the dire situation in Eldoria, detailing Malakar's rise to power and the devastation he had wrought. She spoke of her people's suffering and her desperate search for a way to defeat the dark sorcerer. Zephyros listened intently, his ancient mind weighing the situation. After a long silence, he spoke. "The darkness that Malakar wields is a perversion of the natural order, a corruption of the balance that must be restored. There is a way to defeat him, but it will require great courage and sacrifice." Eldoria's eyes widened with determination. "I will do whatever it takes, mighty Zephyros. Please, tell me what I must do." The dragon nodded. "There is a relic, an ancient artifact known as the Heart of Light. It is a crystal that contains the pure essence of the stars, capable of dispelling even the darkest of magics. The Heart of Light was hidden away eons ago, to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. To retrieve it, you must journey to the Temple of Stars, which lies in the heart of the Shattered Peaks." Zephyros' eyes glowed brighter as he continued. "The path to the temple is fraught with danger, guarded by the spirits of the ancient guardians. You must prove your worthiness and your heart's purity to gain their trust. Only then will the Heart of Light reveal itself to you." Eldoria nodded, steeling herself for the challenges ahead. "I understand, Zephyros. Thank you for your guidance." The dragon lowered his head, and a single tear, sparkling like a diamond, fell from his eye. "Take this, Eldoria. It is a tear of the celestial dragons. It will light your path in the darkest of times and protect you from harm. Use it wisely." With the tear safely in her possession, Eldoria set out on her quest. The journey to the Shattered Peaks was arduous, filled with treacherous terrain and fierce creatures. But Eldoria's determination never wavered. Guided by the light of Zephyros' tear, she navigated the perilous mountains and reached the Temple of Stars. The temple was a magnificent structure, carved from the very rock of the mountains and adorned with celestial symbols. As Eldoria approached, the spirits of the ancient guardians appeared, testing her resolve and purity of heart. Through trials of wisdom, courage, and compassion, Eldoria proved herself worthy. Finally, in the heart of the temple, she found the Heart of Light. The crystal glowed with an ethereal brilliance, pulsing with the power of the stars. With the relic in hand, Eldoria made her way back to Eldoria, ready to face Malachar. The final battle was fierce. Malachar's dark magic clashed with the radiant power of the Heart of Light. But Eldoria, fueled by the knowledge and strength she had gained from Zephyros and her journey, stood firm. With a final, powerful incantation, she unleashed the full force of the Heart of Light, banishing Malachar's darkness and freeing her people. Eldoria was saved, and Eldoria was hailed as a hero. But she knew that the true credit belonged to Zephyros, the wise dragon whose guidance had made it all possible. She returned to the hidden valley to thank him, but found only an empty clearing where he had once rested. Yet, she felt his presence in the gentle breeze and the twinkling stars above. From that day forward, Eldoria became a guardian of Eldoria, dedicated to preserving the balance and protecting the land from any who would threaten it. And the legend of Zephyros, the celestial dragon, lived on, a beacon of hope and wisdom for all who sought it. And so, the story of Zephyros and Eldoria was passed down through the generations, a timeless tale of courage, wisdom, and the enduring power of light over darkness. As Eldoria stood in the empty clearing, she felt a pang of melancholy mixed with profound gratitude. She understood that Zephyros had fulfilled his role in her journey and had moved on to another realm, perhaps watching over Eldoria from the stars above. With a deep breath, she pledged to uphold the balance and wisdom he had entrusted to her. Years passed, and under Eldoria's vigilant protection, Eldoria flourished once more. She established a council of guardians, chosen for their wisdom and courage, to aid her in her mission. Together, they fostered a new era of peace and prosperity, where magic was respected and used to nurture the land and its inhabitants. Despite the peace, whispers of ancient prophecies and hidden dangers continued to linger. Eldoria, rich with magic and history, was always a land of mystery and secrets. One such secret came to light when Eldoria received a visit from a young scholar named Lyra. Lyra was from the distant and enigmatic Isle of Nimra, known for its advanced magical studies and ancient artifacts. She had come to Eldoria seeking Eldoria's help. The Isle of Nimra had been experiencing strange disturbances, unexplained magical anomalies, and visions of a coming darkness. Eldoria listened carefully as Lyra described the omens and their people's growing fear. The mention of visions piqued Eldoria's interest, for she knew that such phenomena were often linked to deep and ancient magics. She agreed to journey with Lyra to the Isle of Nimra to investigate the source of these disturbances. Their voyage across the seas was swift, the waters calm and the skies clear, a sign, Eldoria hoped, of a favorable outcome. Upon arriving at Nimra, they were greeted by the island's elders, who led them to the heart of the disturbance, an ancient, mystical grove known as the Whispering Woods. The Whispering Woods were said to be the dwelling place of spirits and ancient forces, a place where the veil between worlds was thin. As Eldoria and Lyra ventured deeper into the grove, the air grew thick with enchantment, and the trees seemed to murmur secrets in an ancient tongue. In the center of the grove, they found a stone circle, its surface etched with runes that pulsed with an eerie, otherworldly light. Eldoria knelt to examine the runes, feeling a resonance deep within her. These were not just any runes, they were celestial symbols, akin to those she had encountered in the Temple of Stars. As she traced the runes with her fingers, a vision engulfed her. She saw a great void, an emptiness filled with shadows, and in its center, a pulsating dark star. Around it, fragments of light struggled to resist the consuming darkness. Then, she heard a voice, faint, yet familiar. Eldoria, guardian of balance, the voice intoned. The stars have foretold a new peril. A void-born entity, drawn by the disturbance of the natural order, seeks to devour the light of this world. You must journey beyond the veil, to the realm of the celestials, and restore the balance before it is too late. The vision faded, and Eldoria found herself back in the grove, Lyra's concerned face hovering above her. She relayed the vision and its ominous message. The elders, though fearful, entrusted her with an ancient artifact, an astral compass, that would guide her to the celestial realm. With Lyra by her side, Eldoria prepared for her most perilous journey yet. The astral compass pointed the way, leading them to a secluded cliffside where the boundary between worlds was thinnest. As they activated the artifact, a portal shimmered into existence, swirling with cosmic energy. Steeling themselves, they stepped through the portal and found themselves in a realm unlike any other. Stars and nebulas filled the sky, and the ground beneath their feet sparkled with stardust. They were in the celestial realm, the very heart of the cosmos, where the celestial dragons once roamed. Guided by the compass, they navigated this ethereal landscape until they reached a grand citadel made of crystalline structures. Inside, they were greeted by astral beings, guardians of the celestial realm. These beings, luminous and wise, welcomed Eldoria and Lyra, recognizing the light of Zephyros in Eldoria. The Guardians revealed that the void-born entity was a remnant of a primordial chaos, an ancient foe of the Celestials. To defeat it, Eldoria and Lyra needed to rekindle the celestial flame, an eternal fire that kept the balance of the cosmos. This flame had dimmed, and only the purest heart and the bravest soul could reignite it. Together, they faced trials that tested their resolve, wisdom, and unity. They journeyed through starfields and confronted cosmic echoes of their deepest fears. Each trial strengthened their bond and their determination to save Eldoria. At last, they reached the heart of the celestial citadel, where the celestial flame flickered weakly. Channeling all their strength in the light of Zephyros' terror, Eldoria reignited the flame, its brilliance banishing the void-born shadows that threatened their world. With the balance restored, the celestial guardians granted them safe passage back to Eldoria. As they emerged from the portal, they were greeted by the grateful faces of Nimra's elders and the awe of its people. Eldoria had been saved once more, not by a single hero, but by the courage and unity of its people. Eldoria returned to her role as guardian, her legend now intertwined with the stars. And Lyra, inspired by their journey, dedicated herself to preserving the celestial wisdom they had uncovered. In the years that followed, the story of Eldoria and the celestial realm became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest times, the light of courage, unity, and wisdom would always prevail. And so, the tales of Eldoria continued, a testament to the enduring power of balance and the magic that bound them all.
As years turned into decades, Eldoria's legacy endured, inspiring countless generations. Eldoria thrived under the guardianship she had established, and the balance she so fiercely protected became the cornerstone of its prosperity. However, as the ages passed, whispers of a new threat began to emerge, carried on the winds from the farthest reaches of the land. Deep within the ancient forests of Eldoria, a dark presence began to stir, a remnant of Malakar's forbidden magic that had lain dormant, festering and growing in strength. This presence took the form of a shadowy wraith, known as Nocturnus, feeding off the fear and despair of the creatures around it. Its influence spread slowly but surely, corrupting the land and turning it into a twisted reflection of its former beauty. Word of this dark force reached Eldoria, now an elder stateswoman, revered for her wisdom and courage. She called upon the Council of Guardians, now a robust and diverse group of sorcerers, warriors, and scholars. Among them was Lyra, now a powerful mage and trusted advisor. Together, they devised a plan to confront this new menace before it could engulf Eldoria in darkness once more. Eldoria, despite her age, insisted on leading the expedition into the heart of the corrupted forest. She believed that her connection to the celestial dragons and the knowledge she had gained from her past journeys would be crucial in defeating Nocturnus. Lyra and a select group of guardians accompanied her, each bearing artifacts and spells designed to counter dark magic. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the air grew heavy with a malevolent energy. The trees, once vibrant and full of life, now twisted and gnarled, their branches like skeletal hands reaching out to ensnare the unwary. The ground beneath their feet was slick with shadow, and an unnatural silence pervaded the air. The group pressed on, guided by the light of Zephyros' terror, which Eldoria carried close to her heart. Its radiant glow provided a stark contrast to the surrounding darkness, a beacon of hope and protection. Along the way, they encountered twisted creatures, former denizens of the forest now corrupted by Nocturnus' influence. These creatures attacked with a ferocity born of despair, but the Guardians fought bravely, their unity and purpose giving them strength. Finally, they reached the heart of the corrupted forest, where Nocturnus awaited them. The wraith hovered above a pool of inky blackness, its form shifting and writhing as if composed of living shadows. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light, and its voice echoed with a chilling, otherworldly timbre. "Eldoria, guardian of Eldoria," Nocturnus hissed. "You dare to challenge me? You, who have seen the darkness, should know its power." Eldoria stepped forward, her eyes blazing with determination. "I have faced darkness before, Nocturnus. And I have learned that even in the deepest night, the light of hope and courage can never be extinguished." With that, she raised Zephyros' tear, its light intensifying and driving back the shadows. Nocturnus recoiled, its form flickering and distorting as it struggled to withstand the radiant power. Lyra and the other guardians joined hands, channeling their magic into a protective barrier around Eldoria, bolstering her strength. Eldoria began to chant an ancient incantation, calling upon the power of the celestial dragons and the heart of light. The tear in her hand glowed brighter, its light coalescing into a beam that pierced the darkness, striking Nocturnus at its core. The wraith let out a piercing shriek, its form convulsing as the light seared through it. But Nocturnus was resilient, fueled by the accumulated despair of the forest. It fought back, tendrils of shadow lashing out at the guardians. One by one, they were knocked to the ground, their protective barrier weakening. Eldoria felt the strain, her strength waning as Nocturnus' darkness threatened to overwhelm her. In that moment of desperation, Eldoria's mind reached out across the realms, seeking the guidance of Zephyros. She felt a comforting presence, a warm, familiar light that filled her with renewed strength. The dragon's voice echoed in her mind, a reminder of the enduring power of light over darkness. "Eldoria, remember the unity of your heart and the courage of your soul. You are never alone." Summoning the last of her strength, Eldoria poured every ounce of her will into the tear, its light erupting into a blinding blaze. The beam intensified, shattering Nocturnus' form and dispersing its essence into the void. The wraith let out one final, anguished cry before disintegrating into nothingness. As the light faded, the corrupted forest began to heal. The twisted trees straightened, their leaves regaining their vibrant hues. The air grew lighter, the oppressive darkness lifting to reveal the beauty that had been hidden beneath. Eldoria, exhausted but triumphant, collapsed to her knees. Lyra and the other guardians rushed to her side, their faces filled with relief and gratitude. Together, they had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their unity and determination proving stronger than any force of shadow. In the days that followed, Eldoria celebrated the defeat of Nocturnus and the restoration of the forest. Eldoria, though physically weakened, remained a beacon of wisdom and strength, her legacy now even more firmly etched into the hearts of her people. The Guardians continued to protect Eldoria, their bond strengthened by their shared victory. And as the years passed, new challenges arose, each met with the same courage and unity that had defined Eldoria's era. The legend of Eldoria, the Guardian of Balance, lived on, a timeless tale of light triumphing over darkness. Her story, intertwined with the stars and the enduring power of hope, continued to inspire generations, reminding them that even in the face of the greatest darkness, the light of courage and unity would always prevail. As the years turned into decades, Eldoria entered an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity. Arya and Orion, now revered as the latest in a long line of legendary guardians, continued to watch over the land, ensuring the balance of light and darkness. Eldoria's people thrived, their hearts full of hope and their lives enriched by the magic that permeated their world. Despite the peace, Arya remained vigilant. She often felt a lingering sense of unease, as if the battle against Morvith was not the end, but merely a prelude to a greater challenge. Her connection to the ancient magic of Eldoria had deepened, and with it, her awareness of the delicate balance that held their world together. Orion, ever her steadfast companion, supported her in her quest for knowledge and understanding. One night, as Arya gazed up at the stars from her tower in the Grand Academy, she received a vision. The stars seemed to shimmer and dance, forming patterns and symbols that spoke to her in a language of light. In her vision, she saw a looming shadow, more immense and terrifying than any she had encountered before. It whispered of an ancient evil, far older than Morvith, that had been sealed away by the very first celestial dragons. This being, known as the Void Lord, sought to consume all light and life, plunging Eldoria into eternal darkness. The next morning, Arya convened a meeting with the Guardians. She shared her vision, and the gravity of her words weighed heavily on the room. Orion, always the voice of reason, spoke first. If the Void Lord is awakening, we must prepare. We cannot allow such a force to threaten our world. Selene's descendant, a wise and powerful sorceress named Lyanna, nodded in agreement. We must gather all our knowledge and strength. The ancient texts and relics may hold the key to stopping this darkness. The Guardians set to work, scouring the archives for any information on the Void Lord and the first celestial dragons. Arya and Orion, alongside Lyanna and the other Guardians, began to piece together the history and power of their ancient foe. They learned that the Void Lord had been sealed away using an artifact of immense power, the Celestial Prism, a relic that could harness the pure essence of light and amplify it to unimaginable levels. The Celestial Prism had been shattered into 5 shards, each hidden in a different corner of Eldoria to prevent it from being misused. These shards were guarded by powerful elemental spirits, each tied to the fundamental forces of nature: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. To defeat the Void Lord, the Guardians would need to reunite the shards and restore the Celestial Prism. Arya and Orion, along with Lyanna and a brave young warrior named Thorn, set out on a quest to find the shards. Their first destination was the Whispering Caverns, where the Earth Shard was hidden. The caverns were a labyrinth of twisting tunnels and hidden chambers, guarded by the Earth Elemental, a colossal being of stone and soil. The Guardians faced numerous challenges within the caverns, from collapsing tunnels to relentless Earth creatures. Arya's magic and Orion's strength guided them, while Lyanna's wisdom and Thorn's bravery provided support. They eventually confronted the Earth Elemental, proving their worth through a series of trials that tested their endurance and connection to the land. With the Earth Shard in hand, they continued their journey. Next, they traveled to the Crystal Sea, where the Water Shard lay hidden beneath the waves. The sea was vast and treacherous, home to ancient sea creatures and perilous currents. Guided by the merfolk, they navigated the depths and encountered the Water Elemental, a graceful and powerful being of fluid and light. Through trials of compassion and adaptability, they earned the Water Shard. Their third quest took them to the Burning Sands, a desert of endless heat and fire. The Fire Shard was protected by the Fire Elemental, a fierce and temperamental guardian. The trials in the desert tested their courage and resilience, but with each challenge, the Guardians grew stronger and more united. They succeeded in obtaining the Fire Shard. The fourth shard, the Air Shard, was located in the Skirich Cliffs, a series of towering peaks and treacherous winds. The Air Elemental, a being of pure wind and sky, tested their agility and clarity of thought. The Guardians' bond and determination saw them through the trials, and they secured the Air Shard. The final shard, the Ether Shard, was hidden in the Veil of Twilight, a mystical realm between worlds where time and space were fluid. The Ether Elemental, a mysterious and enigmatic being, challenged their understanding of reality and their connection to the celestial magic. The Guardians' unity and faith in each other allowed them to obtain the Ether Shard. With all 5 shards of the Celestial Prism in their possession, the Guardians returned to Eldoria. They prepared for the final confrontation with the Void Lord, knowing that the fate of their world hung in the balance. The shards were brought to the Celestial Altar, an ancient site of immense power where the prism could be restored. As they began the ritual to reunite the shards, the sky darkened, and a palpable sense of dread filled the air. The Void Lord, sensing the imminent threat to his power, emerged from the shadows, his form a swirling mass of darkness and malice. The Guardians, their hearts filled with determination, stood ready to face the ultimate battle. The Void Lord's presence was overwhelming, his power a force of pure destruction. Shadows lashed out, threatening to extinguish the light of the shards. Arya, Orion, Lyanna, and Thorn fought valiantly, their combined magic and strength pushing back against the encroaching darkness. As the ritual progressed, the shards began to glow with a radiant light, their power growing stronger with each passing moment. The Void Lord, sensing his impending defeat, unleashed his full fury, but the Guardians stood firm. Arya, channeling the energy of the shards, focused her magic into a single, brilliant beam of light. The beam pierced the Void Lord, enveloping him in a cocoon of celestial energy. The darkness writhed and screamed as the light purified and sealed it away. With a final surge of power, the celestial prism was restored, its light shining brighter than ever before. The Void Lord's form dissolved into nothingness, and the shadows receded, leaving Eldoria bathed in the warm glow of the restored prism. The Guardians, though exhausted, stood victorious. The balance of light and darkness had been preserved, and Eldoria was safe once more. In the aftermath, the celestial prism was placed in the heart of Eldoria, its light a beacon of hope and protection for all. The Guardians were hailed as heroes, their names etched into the annals of history. Arya and Orion, their bond stronger than ever, continued to watch over Eldoria, ensuring that the light would always prevail. Lyanna returned to her studies, her knowledge and wisdom guiding future generations. Thorn, now a celebrated warrior, continued to protect Eldoria with unwavering bravery. The people of Eldoria flourished, their lives enriched by the magic and unity that defined their world. As the years turned into centuries, the story of the Guardians and the Celestial Prism became a timeless legend, a testament to the enduring power of light, hope, and unity. Eldoria remained a land of magic and wonder, where the balance between light and darkness was forever maintained. Under the twinkling stars and the watchful eyes of the celestial dragons, Eldoria thrived, its people living in harmony with the magic and nature around them. The legacy of Arya, Orion, and their companions lived on, inspiring future generations to rise against adversity and protect their world. And so, in the heart of Eldoria, beneath the ancient trees and beside the crystal-clear streams, the spirit of Zephyros watched over the land, his presence a beacon of hope and wisdom for all who sought it. The magic of Eldoria endured, ensuring that its people would live in peace and harmony, their stories of courage and unity inspiring generations to come. The balance between light and darkness was forever preserved, and the light of the celestial prism shone brightly, a symbol of the enduring power of hope and the indomitable spirit of Eldoria. Centuries after the defeat of the Void Lord, Eldoria thrived in an era of peace and prosperity. The celestial prism, a beacon of hope and protection, continued to watch over the land. However, in the shadows, a new threat emerged. A scholar named Darian, driven by ambition and a thirst for power, delved into forbidden texts and dark magic, disturbing the delicate balance of Eldoria's magic. Sensing the growing disturbance, the celestial prism began to pulse with light. The Guardians, now a revered order led by Aurora, a descendant of Arya, gathered to address the threat. Alongside Aurora were Kale, a warrior with Orion's strength, Seraphine, a wise sorceress like Lyanna, and Rowan, a brave protector like Thorn. The prism warns us of a growing darkness, Aurora said. We must uncover its source and restore balance before it's too late. Their quest led them to the ruins of an ancient temple, where they found Darian deep in a trance, surrounded by swirling shadows. Darian, stop this madness. Aurora called out. You're endangering all of Eldoria. Darian, eyes glazed with dark power, responded, you do not understand. The power of the void is infinite. With it, we can create a new world. Reason failing, the Guardians prepared for battle. Shadows erupted, and Darien's dark magic clashed with the light of the celestial prism. In the chaos, Darien shattered the prism, scattering its shards across Eldoria. The Guardians resolved to reclaim the shards and restore the prism. Their journey took them to the elemental realms, where each shard was hidden and guarded by powerful elemental spirits. In the Whispering Caverns, they faced the Earth Elemental, overcoming trials of endurance and securing the Earth Shard. The Crystal Sea tested their compassion and adaptability, earning them the Water Shard. The Burning Sands challenged their courage and resilience, obtaining the Fire Shard. The Skirich Cliffs demanded agility and clarity of thought, securing the Air Shard. Finally, the Veil of Twilight tested their understanding of celestial magic, obtaining the Ether Shard. With all 5 shards, the Guardians returned to Eldoria and began the ritual to restore the prism. As the ritual progressed, the sky darkened, and shadows gathered. Darien, now consumed by the void's power, emerged. Darien, Aurora called out, "It's not too late to restore balance. Let us help you." Darien laughed, madness and sorrow in his voice. "The void's power is mine. I will reshape this world." The final battle began, light and dark clashing in a struggle that shook Eldoria. The Guardians fought valiantly, their combined magic and strength pushing back against Darien's dark power. As the shards glowed, their light grew brighter. Aurora, channeling the shard's energy, focused a brilliant beam of light at Darien. The beam enveloped him in celestial energy, the shadows writhing and screaming as the light purified them. With a final surge of power, the celestial prism was restored, its light shining brighter than ever. Darien's form dissolved into nothingness, and the shadows receded. Eldoria was bathed in the warm glow of the restored prism. The Guardians stood victorious, the balance of light and darkness preserved. The celestial prism was placed in the heart of Eldoria, its light a beacon of hope and protection. Aurora, Kale, Seraphine, and Rowan were hailed as heroes, their names etched into history. Their bond, strengthened by trials and triumphs, ensured they would continue to watch over Eldoria. As centuries passed, the story of Aurora and her fellow Guardians became a timeless legend. Eldoria thrived, a land of magic and wonder where the balance between light and darkness was forever maintained. Under the twinkling stars and the watchful eyes of the celestial dragons, Eldoria flourished. The spirit of Zephyros and the other celestial dragons watched over the land, their presence a beacon of hope and wisdom. The magic of Eldoria endured, its people living in peace and harmony, their stories of courage and unity inspiring generations to come. And so, in the heart of Eldoria, beneath ancient trees and beside crystal-clear streams, the spirit of Zephyros watched over the land. The balance between light and darkness was forever preserved, the light of the celestial prism shining brightly, a symbol of the indomitable spirit of Eldoria. The story of Eldoria continued to unfold, a never-ending tapestry of magic, adventure, and the enduring power of light over darkness. Centuries after the defeat of Morgathia, Eldoria flourished in an era of unparalleled peace and prosperity. The celestial prism, its light now a symbol of hope and unity, continued to safeguard the realm. Yet, deep within the forgotten wastes, a new menace brewed. Rumors spoke of a mysterious sorcerer who sought to awaken an ancient evil, one that predated even the celestial dragons. This sorcerer, named Thaler, had unearthed an ancient tome in the ruins of a lost civilization. The tome contained forbidden knowledge about the Titans, primordial beings of immense power who had once ruled over Eldoria in an age shrouded in myth. Thaler, driven by a desire for dominion, sought to revive the Titans and bend them to his will. The Guardians, led by the wise Aurora, now older and more seasoned, sensed a disturbance in the magical fabric of Eldoria. She summoned her trusted companions, Kale, whose strength was now legendary, Seraphine, whose mastery of magic had only deepened, and Rowan, whose bravery was known throughout the land. Thaler's actions threaten the very essence of our world, Aurora said, her voice grave. If he succeeds in awakening the Titans, Eldoria will fall into chaos. We must stop him before it's too late. The Guardians embarked on their quest, their journey taking them to the heart of the Forgotten Wastes. This desolate land, once vibrant and filled with life, had been ravaged by ancient wars and dark magic. As they ventured deeper, the air grew heavy with the stench of decay, and the sky darkened with swirling clouds. In the ruins of an ancient temple, they confronted Thaler. The sorcerer stood before a colossal stone monolith, chanting incantations from the tome. Energy crackled around him as the monolith began to glow with a sinister light. Thaler, you must cease this madness. Aurora called out, her voice echoing through the chamber. You do not understand the forces you are meddling with. Thaler turned, his eyes gleaming with malevolent power. You are too late, Guardians. The Titans will rise again, and with their power, I will reshape Eldoria. The final battle began, a furious clash of elemental forces. Thaler summoned dark spirits to aid him, but the Guardians, their bond unbreakable, fought with unwavering determination. Kale's strength shattered the dark spirits, while Rowan's agility kept Thaler's attacks at bay. Seraphine countered Thaler's dark magic with spells of light, and Aurora channeled the power of the celestial prism. As the battle raged, Thaler's incantations reached a crescendo. The ground trembled, and the monolith split open, revealing a portal to the realm of the Titans. A massive hand, clad in stone and crackling with energy, began to emerge. We must close the portal, Aurora shouted. If the Titans break through, all is lost. Drawing on the combined power of their bonds and the celestial prism, the Guardians unleashed a blinding beam of light at the portal. The energy clashed with Thaler's dark magic, creating a maelstrom of power that threatened to tear the temple apart. Thaler, realizing he was losing control, made a desperate attempt to merge with the portal's energy. I will not be denied, he screamed, his form distorting as he was enveloped by the dark power. But the Guardian's light proved too strong. With a final surge of energy, the beam overpowered Thaler's magic, closing the portal and banishing the sorcerer to the void. With Thaler defeated and the portal sealed, the ancient temple began to crumble. The Guardians fled, emerging into the daylight just as the ruins collapsed behind them. The sky cleared, and a sense of peace returned to the Forgotten Wastes. As they stood amidst the ruins, Aurora spoke, her voice filled with both relief and determination. We have averted disaster, but the threat of the Titans will always loom over Eldoria. We must remain vigilant and continue to protect our world. The Guardians returned to Eldoria, where they were hailed as heroes once more. They resumed their duties, training new generations of Guardians and ensuring that the knowledge of their struggles and victories was passed down. Years turned into decades, and the Guardians grew older, their legacy cemented in the annals of history. Aurora, now a venerable elder, knew her time was nearing its end. She gathered Kale, Seraphine, and Rowan one last time. We have accomplished much together, she said, her eyes shining with pride. But our time as Guardians is drawing to a close. It is time for a new generation to take up the mantle. Under Aurora's guidance, a new group of young Guardians was chosen. They had been trained well and were ready to face the challenges that lay ahead. The old Guardians passed on their knowledge, their wisdom, and their hopes for the future. Aurora, Kale, Seraphine, and Rowan retired to a peaceful life, watching over Eldoria from afar. The new Guardians, inspired by their predecessors' legacy, vowed to protect the realm with the same courage and dedication. As the years went by, Eldoria continued to thrive. The celestial prism remained a beacon of hope, its light shining brightly across the land. The story of the Guardians, their battles, and their victories became a timeless legend, inspiring generations to come. In the heart of Eldoria, beneath ancient trees and beside crystal-clear streams, the spirit of the celestial dragons watched over the land. The balance between light and darkness was maintained, and the people of Eldoria lived in peace and harmony. And so, the story of Aurora and her fellow guardians was passed down through the ages, a tale of bravery, unity, and the enduring power of light over darkness. The magic of Eldoria endured, its people forever protected by the legacy of the celestial dragons and their guardians. As the new generation of guardians took up their roles, Eldoria entered an era of exploration and discovery. The land, rich with magic and mystery, held many secrets yet to be uncovered. The young guardians, led by Lyra, a direct descendant of Aurora, embraced their responsibilities with enthusiasm and courage. Lyra, a gifted sorceress, was joined by her trusted companions, Delenn, a warrior with Kale's strength and valor, Morella, a healer whose wisdom mirrored Seraphine's, and Darius, a scout with Rowan's agility and keen instincts. Together, they formed a formidable team, ready to protect Eldoria from any threat. One day, while exploring the ancient ruins of a forgotten city, Lyra and her companions stumbled upon an artifact of immense power, a crystal sphere that pulsed with an eerie, otherworldly light. As Lyra reached out to touch it, the sphere activated, projecting a holographic image of an old, wise mage. "Greetings, young guardians," the mage said, his voice echoing through the ruins. "I am Ilarion, a scholar from the lost city of Eldoria. This sphere contains knowledge of a hidden threat that could spell doom for Eldoria." Intrigued and alarmed, Lyra and her companions listened intently as Ilarion explained. Long ago, before the time of the celestial dragons, there existed an artifact known as the Dark Heart Amulet. This amulet possesses the power to corrupt and control the minds of even the strongest beings. It was believed to be lost forever, but recent disturbances suggest it may have resurfaced. Ilarion's image flickered as he continued. "You must find the amulet and secure it before it falls into the wrong hands. Seek out the Oracle of Lumina, who resides in the Glimmering Woods. She will guide you on your quest." With a newfound sense of urgency, the young guardians set out for the Glimmering Woods, a mystical forest filled with luminous flora and fauna. As they traveled, they encountered various magical creatures, some friendly and others hostile. Their journey was fraught with challenges, but their bond and determination carried them through. Upon reaching the heart of the Glimmering Woods, they found the Oracle of Lumina, a serene and ancient being who radiated pure light. The Oracle welcomed them and listened to their plight. "The Dark Heart Amulet is a relic of great evil," she said. "To find it, you must first retrieve 3 sacred keys, each hidden in a different realm." The Oracle provided them with a map and instructions on where to find the keys. The first key was hidden in the Frostbound Peaks, a treacherous mountain range covered in eternal ice and snow. The second key lay in the depths of despair, an underwater abyss teeming with dangerous creatures. The final key was concealed in the Emberlands, a scorching desert where fire elementals roamed. Determined, the Guardians set off for the Frostbound Peaks. The journey was arduous, with biting winds and icy terrain testing their endurance. They encountered fierce Yeti and elusive ice spirits, but with Thalin's strength and Morella's healing magic, they persevered. At the summit of the tallest peak, they discovered the first key, encased in a block of ice. Lyra used her magic to melt the ice, retrieving the key and securing it safely. Next, they ventured to the depths of despair, where they encountered formidable sea creatures and treacherous currents. Using an ancient spell taught to them by the Oracle, they transformed into aquatic forms, allowing them to navigate the depths. They faced off against a giant sea serpent guarding the second key, but with Darius's agility and quick thinking, they managed to outmaneuver the beast and claim the key. The final leg of their journey took them to the Emberlands. The scorching heat and relentless firestorms made progress difficult, but their spirits remained unbroken. They encountered fire elementals and treacherous lava flows, relying on their teamwork and Morella's protective spells to survive. Deep within a volcanic cave, they found the third key, guarded by a fire drake. After a fierce battle, they emerged victorious, the key in hand. With all three keys secured, the Guardians returned to the Oracle of Lumina. "You have proven yourselves worthy," the Oracle said, her voice filled with pride. "The Dark Heart Amulet lies within the Shadow Spire, an ancient fortress shrouded in darkness. Use the keys to unlock its gates and retrieve the amulet." The Guardians set off for the Shadow Spire, a foreboding structure that loomed over the desolate landscape. As they approached, they felt a palpable sense of dread. Using the keys, they unlocked the massive gates and entered the fortress. Inside, they faced numerous traps and dark creatures, remnants of the amulet's corrupting influence. At the heart of the Shadow Spire, they found the Dark Heart Amulet, pulsing with malevolent energy. As Lyra reached for it, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, Valor, who had somehow survived and been drawn to the amulet's power. "Fools," Valor sneered. "You think you can stop me? The amulet's power will be mine." A fierce battle ensued, the Guardians fighting with all their might against Valor's dark magic. Despite his formidable power, their unity and determination proved stronger. Lyra, channeling the light of the Celestial Prism, unleashed a powerful spell that shattered the Dark Heart Amulet, banishing its dark energy and finally defeating Valor. With the amulet destroyed and Valor vanquished, the Guardians emerged from the Shadow Spire victorious. They returned to Eldoria, where they were hailed as heroes once more. The Oracle of Lumina commended their bravery and foresight, and the realm celebrated their triumph. As peace returned to Eldoria, Lyra and her companions continued their duties, ever vigilant against new threats. They trained new Guardians, ensuring that the legacy of protection and unity endured. Under their guidance, Eldoria flourished, a beacon of hope and harmony in a world filled with magic and wonder. Years passed, and the Guardians grew older, their names becoming legendary. Lyra, now a wise elder, gathered her companions one last time. "We have accomplished much together," she said, her voice filled with gratitude. "But our time is drawing to a close. It is time for a new generation to take up the mantle." The new Guardians, trained and ready, vowed to protect Eldoria with the same courage and dedication. Lyra, Lynn, Morella, and Darius retired, their legacy secure in the hands of the next generation. Under the watchful eyes of the celestial dragons, Eldoria thrived. The spirit of Zephyros and the other celestial dragons watched over the land, their presence a beacon of hope and wisdom. The balance between light and darkness was maintained, and the people of Eldoria lived in peace and harmony. The story of Lyra and her fellow Guardians was passed down through the ages, a timeless tale of bravery, unity, and the enduring power of light over darkness. The magic of Eldoria endured, its people forever protected by the legacy of the celestial dragons and their guardians. And so, the tale of Eldoria continued, a never-ending tapestry of magic, adventure, and the enduring spirit of its guardians. The rise of a new era. As the years passed, Eldoria continued to prosper under the vigilant protection of its guardians. The balance between light and darkness was preserved, and the people lived in peace, their lives intertwined with the magic that flowed through the land. Yet, as history has shown time and time again, peace is never guaranteed forever. Unseen threats lurked in the shadows, waiting for the moment to strike. In the heart of Eldoria, a new generation of guardians trained tirelessly under the watchful eyes of Lyra, Lynn, Morella, and Darius. This new generation, known as the Dawnbringers, embodied the hope and courage of their predecessors, ready to defend Eldoria from any danger. Among them were 4 promising young guardians: Eldoria, a sorceress with unparalleled magical abilities; Kale, a warrior whose strength and valor were unmatched; Celine, a healer with profound wisdom; and Eric, a scout with unmatched agility and keen instincts. One day, while patrolling the borders of Eldoria, the Dawnbringers discovered an ancient, hidden passageway that led deep into the earth. The entrance was marked with runes that had not been seen in Eldoria for centuries. Sensing the importance of this discovery, Eldoria and her companions decided to investigate further. As they ventured into the passageway, they encountered an underground labyrinth filled with forgotten relics and ominous carvings depicting a time when Eldoria was ruled by an ancient evil known as the Shadow King. The labyrinth eventually led them to a vast underground chamber, at the center of which stood an imposing stone pedestal. On the pedestal rested a black crystal, pulsating with a dark energy that felt disturbingly familiar. As Eldoria reached out to examine the crystal, she was confronted by a vision of the Shadow King himself, a figure cloaked in darkness, with eyes that burned with malevolent power. "Beware, guardians," the Shadow King intoned, his voice echoing in their minds. "I am the darkness that sleeps beneath your land. The time of my return is at hand." The vision vanished, leaving the guardians shaken but resolute. They knew that they had to act quickly to prevent the Shadow King's return. Returning to the surface, they informed Lyra and the other elders of their discovery. The news was met with grave concern, as the elders recognized the threat posed by the Shadow King. Lyra, her face etched with worry, addressed the Dawnbringers. The Shadow King was a powerful and malevolent ruler who sought to plunge Eldoria into eternal darkness. It was only through the combined efforts of the celestial dragons and the guardians of old that he was sealed away. If he were to return, it would spell disaster for our world. The elders convened to devise a plan. It was decided that the Dawnbringers would undertake a perilous quest to gather the artifacts necessary to reinforce the ancient seals that held the Shadow King at bay. These artifacts, known as the Lightstones, were scattered across Eldoria, each hidden in a place of great danger. The quest for the Lightstones. The first Lightstone was said to be hidden in the Whispering Woods, a forest known for its enchanting beauty and dangerous illusions. The Dawnbringers journeyed deep into the heart of the forest, where they encountered mischievous spirits and deceptive mirages designed to lead them astray. Through their teamwork and determination, they overcame the forest's tricks and located the first Lightstone, a brilliant gem that radiated pure light. The second Lightstone lay within the Abyssal Chasm, a deep gorge filled with treacherous terrain and deadly creatures. The Guardians navigated the perilous cliffs and fought off monstrous beasts that guarded the chasm's depths. Their perseverance paid off when they uncovered the second Lightstone, its light piercing through the darkness of the chasm. For the third Lightstone, the Dawnbringers had to brave the Stormreach Mountains, where violent storms and turbulent winds posed constant threats. With Kale's strength leading the way, they scaled the towering peaks and weathered the fierce storms. At the summit, they found the third Lightstone, its glow visible even through the thick clouds. Finally, the fourth and last Lightstone was hidden in the sunken temple, an underwater ruin that had once been a place of worship. The Guardians used their magical abilities to breathe underwater and navigate the temple's submerged halls. They encountered ancient guardians who tested their resolve and worthiness. After proving themselves in trials of courage and wisdom, they claimed the fourth Lightstone. The final battle. With all 4 Lightstones in their possession, the Dawnbringers returned to the underground chamber where the black crystal rested. As they approached, the crystal's dark energy intensified, and the shadowy figure of the Shadow King began to materialize. "You are too late, Guardians," the Shadow King sneered. "My power grows, and soon I will be free." The chamber trembled as the Shadow King attempted to break free from his ancient prison. The Dawnbringers, undeterred, positioned the Lightstones around the pedestal, their combined light forming a protective barrier. Eldoria, channeling her magical prowess, began the incantation to reinforce the seals. The Shadow King unleashed his dark magic, attempting to shatter the barrier and disrupt the ritual. A fierce battle ensued, with Kale, Celine, and Eric defending Eldoria against the Shadow King's relentless attacks. The air crackled with energy as light and darkness clashed. Despite the Shadow King's immense power, the Guardians held their ground. Drawing strength from their unity and the legacy of the Celestial Dragons, they intensified their efforts. Eldoria's incantation reached its climax, and the Lightstones blazed with brilliant light, enveloping the Shadow King in a vortex of pure energy. With a final, desperate roar, the Shadow King was once again sealed away, his dark presence banished from Eldoria. The underground chamber fell silent, the black crystal now dormant and harmless. The legacy continues. The Dawnbringers emerged from the labyrinth victorious, their hearts filled with pride and relief. They returned to their mentors, who welcomed them with open arms and grateful smiles. "You have done it," Lyra said, her voice filled with emotion. "You have saved Eldoria and upheld the legacy of the Guardians. The light will continue to shine, thanks to your bravery and dedication." The people of Eldoria celebrated the Dawnbringers' triumph, their joy and gratitude palpable. The Guardians were hailed as heroes, their names etched into the annals of history alongside those who had come before them. Years passed, and the Dawnbringers continued to protect Eldoria, their vigilance unwavering. They trained new Guardians, passing on their knowledge and ensuring that the realm would always have defenders. The legacy of the Celestial Dragons and their Guardians endured, a testament to the enduring power of light over darkness. In the heart of Eldoria, under the watchful eyes of the Celestial Dragons, the land flourished. The spirit of Zephyros and the other Celestial Dragons watched over the realm, their presence a constant source of hope and wisdom. The balance between light and darkness was maintained, and the people lived in peace and harmony. And so, the story of Eldoria, Kale, Celine, Eric, and the Dawnbringers was passed down through the ages, a timeless tale of bravery, unity, and the enduring power of light over darkness. The magic of Eldoria endured, its people forever protected by the legacy of the Celestial Dragons and their Guardians. In the end, the tale of Eldoria was one of resilience, courage, and the unyielding belief that light would always triumph over darkness. The Guardians, old and new, stood as beacons of hope, their legacy a shining example of the power of unity and the enduring spirit of the land they vowed to protect. And thus, the magic of Eldoria continued to thrive, an everlasting testament to the strength and spirit of its people. The triumph over the Shadow King marked a turning point in Eldoria's history. The realm rejoiced in the victory of the Dawnbringers, their courage and unity celebrated throughout the land. Festivals were held in their honor, and their names became synonymous with heroism and hope. As time passed, Eldoria entered an era of unprecedented prosperity. The magic that flowed through the land seemed to grow stronger, revitalizing the forests, enriching the fields, and bringing prosperity to all who dwelt there. The people of Eldoria flourished under the guardianship of the Dawnbringers, their lives imbued with a newfound sense of peace and security. Yet, amidst the celebrations and tranquility, whispers began to stir among the elders. Rumors spoke of a distant land beyond the borders of Eldoria, a land where ancient mysteries awaited discovery. It was said that the Celestial Dragons, ever vigilant and wise, had sensed a disturbance in the fabric of reality, a rift that threatened to unleash chaos upon the realms. Eldoria, now a seasoned sorceress and leader of the Dawnbringers, pondered these rumors with a furrowed brow. She sought counsel from Lyra, whose wisdom had guided them through countless trials. "My dear Eldoria," Lyra said, her voice tinged with concern. "The balance we have fought so hard to preserve is delicate. If there is indeed a rift, we must investigate it with caution." With the blessing of the elders, Eldoria and her companions embarked on a daring quest beyond the borders of Eldoria. Guided by ancient maps and the wisdom of the celestial dragons, they traversed unfamiliar lands and faced challenges that tested their resolve. Their journey led them to the Veil of Eternity, a shimmering curtain of light that separated realms. Beyond it lay the Rift of Chaos, a swirling vortex of energy that threatened to unravel the very fabric of existence. The air crackled with raw magic, and eerie whispers echoed through the void. Standing at the precipice of the rift, Eldoria and the Dawnbringers felt the weight of their responsibility. They knew that they alone possessed the power to mend the rift and restore balance to the realms. With hearts filled with determination, they joined hands and channeled their magic into a powerful incantation, a spell of unity and harmony that resonated with the essence of Eldoria itself. As they cast the spell, the Rift of Chaos trembled and convulsed. Threads of light and darkness intertwined, weaving together in a mesmerizing dance. Slowly, the vortex began to stabilize, its tumultuous energy calming under the Guardians' unwavering resolve. With a final surge of power, the Dawnbringers sealed the rift, restoring peace to the realms. The Veil of Eternity shimmered brightly, its brilliance casting a radiant glow over Eldoria and beyond. The balance was restored, and the threat of chaos was banished once more. The Guardians stood in awe, their hearts filled with pride and relief. They had faced the greatest challenge of their lives and emerged victorious. As they looked upon the realms they had saved, a profound sense of fulfillment washed over them. Returning to Eldoria, Eldoria and her companions were greeted with jubilation and gratitude. The people hailed them as saviors, their names spoken with reverence and admiration. The elders bestowed upon them the title of Champions of the Realms, honoring their bravery and selflessness. In the years that followed, Eldoria and the Dawnbringers continued to safeguard Eldoria with unwavering dedication. They trained new generations of guardians, passing on their knowledge and wisdom. The realm prospered under their watchful eyes, its magic flourishing and its people thriving. And so, the tale of Eldoria, Kale, Celine, Eric, and the Dawnbringers became legend, a timeless story of courage, unity, and the enduring power of light over darkness. Their legacy endured, a beacon of hope for all who called Eldoria their home. As the celestial dragons watched over the land with pride, Eldoria entered a new era of peace and prosperity. The realms remained connected, their borders open to exploration and discovery. And amidst the enchanting beauty of Eldoria, the magic continued to weave its wondrous tapestry, a testament to the strength and spirit of its guardians, who vowed to protect it for generations to come. Thus, the epic saga of Eldoria reached its glorious conclusion, its heroes forever etched in the annals of history. And as long as there were stars in the sky and magic in the air, the legacy of the Dawnbringers would endure, a testament to the enduring power of courage, unity, and the unwavering belief that light would always triumph over darkness.